Title: My wife said to her friends, "I don't think this marriage will last another year. He's falling so far below my level." They all laughed in agreement. I smiled and said, "Why wait a year? Let's end it now." Then I left. Start her laughter still echoes sometimes. Not the sweet kind, the one that used to fill our kitchen when I burned the toast, but the sharp, poisonous one that cuts deep and keeps bleeding long after it's over. That night, I stood at the doorway, holding a tray of drinks. She sat with her friends, wine glasses tilted, lipstick marks bleeding down the rim. "I don't think this marriage will last another year," she said. They all laughed. "He's falling so far below my level," she added, almost casually. I smiled. I don't know why. Maybe because the shock froze everything else. Then I said it, calm and clear. "Why wait a year? Let's end it now." The silence that followed was almost merciful. I placed the tray on the table and left. That night, I sat in my car outside our house, engine off, the world dim except for the glow of her laughter leaking through the walls. I stared at the wedding ring, her name engraved inside, and wondered when love had turned into charity in her eyes. Then, at 11:47 p.m., my phone buzzed. A message from her best friend, Sana. "I'm sorry you heard that. You didn't deserve it." My hands froze. Because right under that message, another bubble appeared. "If it helps, she's been saying worse behind your back, and not just words." It took me 3 days to reply. Not because I didn't believe her, but because I needed to. Sana sent me screenshots, photos, late-night dinners, blurred faces, hotel receipts. My wife, Mira, and her boss. The same man who gave me a handshake at our anniversary dinner 2 months ago. I didn't rage, didn't throw things, didn't cry. I made tea, sat by the window, and made a plan. The first thing I did was disappear, emotionally. Quiet dinners turned into polite silence. I stopped asking questions, stopped reacting. She mistook it for weakness. That's the thing about narcissists. They can't tell the difference between silence and calculation. I started gathering, not rumors, evidence, bank records, messages, shared passwords she forgot to change. I learned everything about her accounts, her side investments, her secret apartment lease under a friend's name. Every night, I became a ghost in my own marriage, watching, learning, preparing. It took 6 months. 6 months of quiet smiles, gentle nods, and pretending to be too busy to notice. Meanwhile, I set up everything. 1. Legal groundwork. I contacted a discreet lawyer. Every document was prepared, every financial tie loosened, every asset traceable to me secured. 2. Timing. Her company had a major client dinner coming up, where her promotion would be announced, courtesy of her affair. 3. Allies. Sana. She hated Mira for different reasons now. Moral disgust mixed with personal betrayal. Turns out, Mira had mocked her infertility behind her back. Sana didn't just help, she fueled the fire. The night before the dinner, I cooked her favorite meal. She looked radiant, confident, dressed in arrogance. "Trying to make up for your performance lately?" she joked. I smiled, kissed her cheek. "You'll love what's waiting for you tomorrow." She didn't catch the tone. The restaurant was elegant. Glass chandeliers, marble floors, the kind of place where reputations are currency. Her boss stood at the podium, hand on her shoulder, ready to announce her promotion. That's when the lights dimmed. The screen behind him flickered to life. A slideshow meant for company highlights, but instead, the first image was her, in a hotel room, with him. Gasps sliced through the room. Her face turned white, her breath caught. She turned toward me. I was sitting at the back table, calm, hands folded. "I told you," I said softly, "why wait a year?" The boss's wife stood up, stormed out. The board members whispered. It was over in less than 2 minutes, but that's the thing about exposure. It doesn't end when the lights come back on. The aftermath unfolded like a slow symphony of consequence. She was fired within the week. Her reputation? Gone. The apartment she secretly leased? The rent had been prepaid by her account, which I had already frozen. The bank discovered unauthorized transactions from our joint savings. My lawyer handled the rest. I walked out with everything that mattered. She tried to call me. Texts, emails, voice notes that began with anger and ended in sobs. I never replied. 3 weeks later, Sana invited me for coffee. She looked different, lighter somehow. "She's leaving the city," she said. I nodded. Good. She hesitated. "There's something else. I didn't tell you before because I thought it didn't matter. But she didn't just cheat. She used your name on some of her side deals. It could have ruined you." That stopped me cold. My revenge hadn't just been justice. It had been survival. The last time I saw Mira was in court. Her lawyer tried to argue emotional manipulation, unfair tactics. Mine didn't even need to speak. I just handed over the folder, photos, transactions, recordings. The judge took one look at her, then at me. Decision: divorce granted. Assets awarded. No alimony. She didn't look at me when she left. Maybe because she couldn't bear the face of someone who had truly seen her and survived her. Now when I think about it, I don't feel pride, just clarity. She taught me the value of silence. That vengeance doesn't always come from rage. Sometimes it comes from patience, from knowing the exact moment to turn the knife, not out of anger, but out of precision. I don't hate her anymore. Hate is loud, wasteful. I'm done wasting anything on her. Last week, Sana sent one final message. She moved abroad, alone, no job, no friends. You did what no one else could. You made her face herself. I stared at the screen for a while, then deleted it. No reply. Because I wasn't seeking closure anymore. I had already found it. The moment I said, "Why wait a year?" and walked away.